Happy New Day. Happy New Day. Happy New Day. It is an amazing space to be in this now present moment that we have awakened to greet each other in this now time and space. We're logging in at 532-747-24/7, 361 degrees. We are logging in at 532 here in time and space. I am Oracle Mother Yanis Lamel, Nutra Prime Supreme, 1216 of the Messiah Code Movement and the Thawalu Tribe. We are logging in. I have on my Messiah Code shirt. We are logging in, and this is a great space to be in as we share about push the reset button. So it's a great day. I am love. I give love. I receive love. I accept love. I am walking in abundance. I am fulfilling my purpose. I am connected to all. Unconditional love is my guide. There is one truth, one law. I am. I create. I am whole, perfect, strong, powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. Healthy, happy, and terrific. Acknowledging our team and energies. Acknowledge the ancestors of the higher realms that are assisting us now in this sacred space. Grandma Charlotte, Mama Rosa, Yair, the Orishas, all that are assisting us, 24 elders, the Ascended Masters, Mother, Father, Prime Creator, acknowledging the Earth, Gaia, Mother Earth, water, air, fire, breath, ethers, all the elemental energies, the archangels and the guardian angels that are here, Metron, all that are here are assisting us now in this present moment, for we are an open channel for source to flow through. We are. I am love. We are an open channel for source to flow through. It is an amazing space to be in. We acknowledge the sky. We acknowledge the sun. We acknowledge the moon. We acknowledge the rain. We acknowledge the clouds. For we are all that is, all that has been, and all that will ever be in this present now moment. It is an amazing space to be in. We acknowledge that. We acknowledge you for logging in time and space, in this space. Yes, it is a great space to be in. It is. That's an amazing space. Gratitude. Let us do the breath. Let's do our community breath. Let's do 3. 3 in. 3 out. Hold for 3. Let's begin. Breathing in through our nose and releasing through our mouth. We're going to breathe in for 3, hold for 3, release for 3. Let us go. Ashe. Let us, acknowledge also the Council of Light, the Council of Lights. Yeah, the Council of Lights. It's a great space to be in. It's a great space to be in. And let us walk together and, seeing the title and understanding, push the reset button. There's a very powerful space in life that we all in life have this experience that we go through. When we came into this came through the portal, is that we had an experience, or having an experience. We came in the garden. I love that. When we came in here, we was planted in the garden. And so when we were planted in the garden, let's just walk with me for, I'm just going to be sharing. Just walk with me for a little while. Just walk with me, because we're talking about a reset. Push the reset button. And so when you're talking about, I'm going to use this in a way to really understand something that we already know, because there's nothing that I can share with you that you don't know. So what we are doing is having our family discussion, early rise, because we are energy, frequency, and vibration. And we're all seated at the round table, because we know that everything started from the dot, which is 361 degrees. And so everything started from the dot. So if we would look at the dot as being the seed, so the seed which we were planted in the garden. And so as Messiahs, who we are, a leader, a savior of a particular group with a cause, and one that is in preparation for war. And so we know that the mind, we know the all is mind, and we know that the universe is mental. We know that the war is within the mind. And so it kind of, I'm hearing my guys taking me to where the vision of the garden. And so in the garden, if you know what a garden is, one that is a gardener, visualize with me, walk with me, and let's take see a vision or a picture of the garden. And you see the garden, and you can see the garden there are, in my garden, for example, my garden at my house, it has, in my garden, there's certain parts of the yard that did have, certain, like the apple tree that my daughter planted. Then there's another part where I had the zucchini and the squash, and then I had like my basil and some of my other herbs and my tomato plants and things. So there are certain parts of the garden. But I want you to see that in every one of our lives, a garden. And I want you to just visualize this with me, what you are in the garden, because we are the seed in the garden. So where are you in the garden? Because we were planted here. And my guys are taking me back to Genesis. So we're going to Genesis, and which is Genesis. Genesis is what Bereshit, and Bereshit and Genesis. So we're Happy New Day, everyone that's on the podcast, that's connected with me on Facebook, YouTube, and Messiah Code. On the YouTube, please hit the subscribe button so that when I'm logging in time and space, that you can get the notification that we are live, or we are rolling. I love that. We are rolling. So walk with me and seeing that, and I feel energy all around me, that we are actually seeing ourselves as the seed, because that's what we are. You know what a seed is? A thought. A seed is a word. And so remember, it says in there, in the beginning was the word. So everything that ever existed became. It became something, but it became something out of something. So something became something out of something. And something that became something out of something is something that reproduced something, that keeps something that became something out of something, that produced something to keep it going. Oh, I love that. You go, girl. And so, looking at the codex. So we are the Messiah, which is the network, the codex. And so when you talk about the codex, and we are the codex, so we're looking at the garden, and we're talking about push the reset button. So when we talk about push the reset button, because everything in your world, because everything that you were programmed to be, you became. So remember, in the beginning, you became that which you were programmed to be. And so you successfully accomplished that. My God said, you accomplished that which you were successfully planted to be. And so it's like the game of life. And so the game of life, every levels in the game, you mastered that. You mastered each level in the game. And so there comes a time in life to where you play these levels of game and you master each level in the game, which means you won the game, because there was not another level in the game for you to win, because you mastered every level in the game. And now in our life, because many of us in our life journey experience, when we were going through these different shifts in our life, we were in the place of not really understanding all the different levels in the game of life. We didn't understand that really what the purpose was. We just was in that place, because remember, when we entered through the portal, we were in this area that where we couldn't really understand or know who we were. We were in this agreement that we would forget who we were, or that timing of knowing that when we would wake up to know, or when the reset button would be pushed. I love that. When would the reset button in our life be pushed? Because when we came through the portal, it was like we were introduced to everything that we were not. So we agreed to come and have all of this happen to us until it was time to push the reset button. And so we engulfed in things in our life that we thought was the best things that we were supposed to take part in. We learned about different things in our life that we thought we were supposed to learn about. And therefore, we were even to the point that where we were seeking God on the outside, to where we didn't understand that we were God. And so we went through that, and we learned about that God was distant from us and that we were not God. We engulfed in different foods and things that we ate that, we didn't have the levels of teaching, of understanding that things that we put in our body would affect certain parts of our body, that things that we put in our body would have an effect on our bones, would have an effect on our cells, would have an effect on our mind. And we just took part in that, because that was the agreement. That was the agreement of our life experience. But we didn't even understand at that time until we got closer to the time for the reset button to be pushed. And so in our life experience, in our life journey of knowing that there would be a time in our life that all that we had gone through, there would be a time in our life that there would be a final round of that game. And that game that we mastered. Because in the game, we could look at the game as basketball. We can look at it as being football. We can look at it as being soccer. We can look at it as being all the other games, chess, checkers, whatever you want to do. But there comes a time in our life that the reset button has to be pushed. And that part, that is that we would say, I've had enough. enough is enough. And that time of saying enough is enough, because we begin to get in our life journey, on our life path, that we begin to see the different signs. We begin to see synchronicities of numbers. We begin to have where the light bulb starts going off, and we begin to question it. It's like the veil that have been, or the scales that have been on our eyes, are no longer on our eyes. Those scales have just, have just started deteriorating off our eyes, and that they begin to just fade away. Your life began to have a desire to step outside the cube. You had a desire in your life that you wanted to step outside the box. Even though that there's a part of you that said, the fear part of you saying that, hey, I don't know, is this the right thing to do? And your higher self is saying to you, we can do this. Your higher self is saying to you, this is a part of the blueprint that's within us. If we don't move, then it ain't gonna happen. So on this journey of you taking this part in your life, hallelujah, hallelujah, this part of stepping outside that comfort zone, it's time to push the reset button. And this is what we're going to be sharing about. We just family together, that knowing that everything in our world has it has a vibration with it. The reset button is new, raw reset. It's the raw reset. And not only that, it takes one to desire it. It takes one to desire to have this experience, because you've come through in mastering this. And so, my notes. I love this. I got kind of hot. The codex. The root of the tree. And we all are the seed. We were planted in the garden. Your mind is the garden, and we are the seeds, which are the thoughts. And in our journey, our life, we were planted in the garden. We were a thought, a seed that have the ability to reproduce into a full-blown tree of thought. A thought can produce another thought. It is us. That the network. So the network is like the computer, or the soul that is trapped in the computer. But it takes the thought to program the computer. When you are putting in a word in the search engine, but it took the thought of you, within you, in your mind. So the computer is really the mind or the brain. And to understand that, my question is, what is age? Because we're going to be talking about, the best example in life is for someone to share about themselves. And to share about themselves in a positive way is, to me, is a way to keep raising the vibration in your reality. What is age? If I would elaborate on age, an age is something that has been applied to something that to calculate the distance of it, or how long it's going to survive. I use that word. So age, it's like the system has put age on the moment that you come through here. So when you logged in, because when you come through the port, which is your mom, which is the port, or you docked at the port, you came in through, which is the hospital. So you came in through that and you docked. So you docked and you got a log date, which we consider as the birthday. So you got a log date. The moment that you got the log date, which is considered, they say the log date, depending on who you are, the age, depending on what sex you are, female, male. Okay, there is a whole thing, a whole plan attached to who you are, the length that you will be survived within the vehicle that you went into. And so that vehicle that you went into, so really it's like the data was uploaded in you. So the codes were uploaded within your DNA. And so that those codes uploaded within your DNA, or that data uploaded within you, is basically saying that this program is going to run at a length of time. And this program that's going to run is going to take part in this. This program is going to do this. And this program is going to be in this family. This program is going to take part in all of this. And so that is what's been happening within the old you, the old version of self. Okay. So what is life? So we talk about life. Life is energy. So life is energy. Well, how do we define life? We can define life in many ways. I'm talking, so the words and things that you're looking for a podcast, it's all flowing up through me. So, PowerPoint, it's all flowing up through me. Because sometime in life, my guys are saying, the words that we need to hear are what we need to hear, are the vibrations that needs to go directly within us, because we have all our senses. We have those 5 senses, which we have more than 5 senses. But there comes a time in life that there are certain senses in your life that you need to use more than others at a certain time in your life. And so because there's a reflection of who you are, there's a reflection of other parts of your senses that are operating within you. And so with you, because we're visualizing this together, that life, we look at life in many ways. Okay, we look at life the way it was programmed to look at it, because everything that you're looking through your eyes and through your lenses, remember that when you came through the portal, it was uploaded with the program. And so uploaded with the program is where and what you were until now, the reset. So when we say the reset, we're talking about, example would be for the reset. Now I'm going to talk about the newness in life, but we want to see and feel where we are now, because the reset, or what we have been, has played a major part to lead us up to the reset. And so the major part in our life that's lead us up to the reset. Let's look at the part. Let's look at our whole life. Let's look at that. Because in order to push the reset button, in order to answer the call out of the matrix, we have to understand, we have to accept the whole program that we went through. And it's not to where we are blaming ourselves as a victim, or we're not in the place of considering ourselves as being a failure, but we looking at ourselves as being the master, or we looking at ourselves as the Messiah. And so the age, because if we looked at age, we would see that in each age that we accomplish something by, if we would look at that on the scale of development, as I am a child development center owner, as well as a child development director. And so we have development chart to where each child should have accomplished something in life and on the development scale. So on development scale, they should be, let's say for an infant, at about 6 months, they should at least be trying to hold their hand on the bottle. So we monitor that here. And so there's the same way in your life experience, a certain age. But according to the system, that age is like an expiration date, because they put an expiration date on age, because that's the system. But if we would look at source, which we are, I came that you may have life and that you might have it more abundantly. So that is life. Life is source. Source is life. So what is the reset? What are you? What am I? So we talk about the Messiah code. What are you? We even discussed that. What is the Messiah code? We can go over that. We can go over that again. And we talked about what is actually the Messiah code. What is the network? Because I just want to read that just for a second. I have some glasses. We had some glasses. Okay, they must be at the house. All right. I'm going to read this without the glasses. So the codex is an archive of consciousness. So we are consciousness. So what are you? Consciousness. So we were at one time in our life to where we were in lower consciousness. And that's when we came through the portal, when we didn't really understand who we were. And I want my glasses. Who we were, which is the agreement. And it's going to take you a few minutes to walk with me, because it's very important as us as family meeting together to understand. If we don't understand where we are, what we are, then we won't understand where we're going. We'll still be trapped in that cube, or we'll still be trapped in the matrix. But to understand the purpose of you going through what you have gone through to arrive to where you are in life, to be able to push the reset button. Many are called and few are chosen. But you can be called and not push the reset button. You can be called and you can ignore that. And many of us have had that experience. Many have been called at an early time in their life and didn't answer that call. They chose to just remain in that experience, that life experience that they were having, because they love the material world. They love that world of what it felt like, what was really pleasing to them, the experience. But we got trapped in that. We got trapped in the pleasure of the world, or the pleasure of the game. We got trapped in it. It was so fun. It was joy, We got caught in that part of the game. But then there came a moment in life where we understood that everything began to change. You were really enjoying that place where you were for a good while. You love the party, you love drinking. I'm just using an example. This is nothing toward anybody. I'm just using this as an example. Many love the party, love the drink, the loose women, the loose men and stuff. That's all I can relate to. I'm going to say the reset button, I didn't take part in it. But that wasn't my journey. But I had another journey. I had another path that I walked. So don't look at me as somebody that's being perfect. I am perfect because source, the perfect one, lives in me. But I had an experience just like y'all. I experienced things just like y'all. And that is a part of life, that we all experience different things in our life. And this doesn't make us look like we're greater than everybody else. We are a part of the body. And we are supposed to experience, but we're talking about the reset. And so let's read this, the codex. What is the codex? The codex is an archive of consciousness, a flowing stream of data moving through time and space, past, present, and future, converging into one wholeness. And that is what we are. This body that you are in, this body, this temple, this network that you are. The Messiah code. We call the Messiah code is the codex. So this whole entire body is a system, but you are in the form of let's say, I don't want to say a robot, but you are like a system that's walking. But everything inside, let's say your cells in your body is a part of the system. Your veins and arteries, your heart, your liver, your kidneys, all a part of the system. And that the codes and things that are giving out from above here, that's the head, which sends signals to every part of your body. And so I would look at that as the female Messiah. If we would talk about the female Messiah, and we would talk about the mother, which is the head, which tool of choice is the pen and the paper. So she is the head that sends out every signal to every part of the body. We would look at, if we would go on down and talk about the daughter, we would understand that the daughter represents the sword and the veil. And so what we would really understand that the part of the female body each represents a part of the system. And the part of the male, which is 131, the male Messiah, is the same way. It's the part. Every part of the body is a part of the system, are part of the codex, are part of you are the Messiah code. And so therefore, every part is the codex. And let's keep going. I just needed to just say that because that's where we are. Thought is the foundation of all creation. So in the beginning, what? In the beginning was the word. In the beginning was a thought. In the beginning was a seed. So the seed, which we are, was planted in the garden. So we were planted in the garden. So you look at everything as planted in the garden. Not only are we the seed in the garden, but the most powerful thing is that we are the gardener as well, because we are the one that tends to our own field. We tend to our own field, which means that we are the one that is watching over every thought, every seed that is planted in our garden, because we are the one that is planting the seed. We are the one that is tending to the field, and we are the one that is watching to make sure the weeds don't choke out the seeds or our thoughts that we are planting within our garden. Oh, I love that. So, you, me, we are the gardener, and we are the seeds. And so the reset, even though we were all of that in that old form of ourself, in the old earth or the old heaven or the old earth, let's say the old earth, we were all of that, but we was unconscious to where we knew that we had a garden. We had a garden. Let's look at that old garden. That old garden was full of all sorts of stuff. It was full of doubt. It was full of fear. It was full of jealousy. It was full of everything that you were programmed to think about yourself. All of that. All those negative things were in your garden. And so now it's time to hit the reset button. It's time for the season to change. As the gardener, and you know what a gardener does when it's time for the season to change, it goes out into the garden and begin to pluck up or begin to till what does no longer prosper in another season. So what was planted in summer is not what's going to be planted in the fall, or not what's going to be planted in the winter, or not what's going to be planted in the spring. And so the reset button is understanding that those negative thoughts that was planted in that garden that did not benefit you, it's time to push the reset button, because we are the garden. We are the seed that is planted within the mind. Your mind, my mind, our mind is the garden, and it is made up of every thought. I love that. So gratitude. So thought is the foundation of all creation. And so it's the foundation of all creation in the mind. So the mind is the processor of divine will. And this is where, my guys had shared with me, and I have a book that says the right use of the will. And so in the old garden, we didn't understand that our will, or the divine will, that we had, the will to do the things in life that we desire to do. But there was a time in life that the will, that we really didn't understand that. We were going through that program, and so that program was actually running in us. And so we felt that that was what we were supposed to be doing. So the will was really being suppressed. So we didn't understand that we had the ability to choose for ourselves. But then there comes a time that the light bulb goes off. we were actually like the robot moving around here. And I talk about Sonny, and Sonny say, I may look like them, but it doesn't mean that I am them. And so there comes a time in your life that you agree to come in a human form, go inside of a human body. That's what we did. We came inside a human body to look like we were human, but we are in the world, but not of the world. But we're here to create the world. We came in here looking like everybody else, but we're not them. We're not them. We are divine beings. We are a divine being having a divine human experience. We're in the vehicle, but we're not the vehicle. So we're here to master the vehicle. And that's where many of us, we were programmed, and that, with that program, we were like, oh, I am human, but you're not. I mean, it's up to you to understand that yourself. I'm not trying to convince you to accept anything that I'm saying, but you understand that what you are on your own journey. Because if you found, it's a happy new day, it's a great day to be alive, apparently you are on the path of knowing yourself. Apparently you are understanding who you are. Apparently you're on the right path. Apparently that you showed up at the round table at the right time. This is a divine appointment, divine assignment, that you are connected with us. You came in, sat at the table with us with your tea, with your coffee, with your lemon water, and your hot water, to relieve the digestion within your stomach. That's why you're here. That's why you located us. Located us. It was a divine appointment. It's an assignment that you awaken, because you pushed the reset button, and not every last one of us pushed the reset button at the same time. So I'm going to talk about this beautiful woman. Let me get her. This beautiful woman that's pushed the reset button. So let's reset. So this woman, this beautiful oracle, Mother Yanis Lamel, journey, and we don't have any pictures up there of me with the baptism, the path of the journey of the baptism, the pilgrim's vacation. So, but you have this part of me that's showing that pushing the reset button. Every picture that you see of me is a life journey experience where I push the button. Anytime that you decide to override the weeds that have been in your garden, that have been choking you, you pushing the reset button. Every time you step into your purpose in life, you push the reset button. Every time you go within yourself to understand that there is more to life than just, I'm just using this as an example, a 9-to-5 job. There's more to life than just being like, I'm cooking, I'm cleaning, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. There's more to life. There has to be something else. But until you push the reset button, you never reach that. You never reach that. Because if you don't push the reset button, the old program will keep running within your reality. So the reset button. So on this journey, let me get back to me. On this journey, there we go. So on this journey, I love that. On this journey, what you see me, as you see me. And it's the best, as I said, the best example would be for me to share about me, to push the reset button. So I will say, since we don't really know what year it is, I'm going to use the year anyway. I'm going to say last year. Okay. So, I'm going to say January. Yeah. Let's just say January. Well, I'm going to say last year too, because some things happened in my life that I began to have an experience in my life, but I didn't know what it was. How about that? But it was different. I can honestly say that in that journey of the pilgrimage vacation, the moment that the call came, the moment was when the reset button was pushed. Even though there was a battle, there were weeds in my garden. There were weeds in the garden that was trying to choke out the seeds, the seed of thought, of trying to win the battle. Because remember, the battle was in the mind. It wasn't so much out there. The battle was in the mind. the weeds was trying to overpower the thoughts of you can do this, and it was trying to choke them out. And everything that was already planned for me, my higher self, we were already in agreement with that, but the weeds were still trying to choke that out by doubt, fear, you can't do this, or excuses, being brought in my mind. But then there came a time that reset button. Once the reset button is pushed, there is no going back. At least there wasn't no going back for me. There was no going back. There was only moving forward. I had many nights up until that time, and I'm sharing about me. You can, you want to know, I'm going to share it with you. I had many nights to where I was wrestling with this. Like, man, my leg, I was wrestling with that. Man, it's not too late to change my mind. It's no different with the African American parade. It was the same thing. It's not too late to change your mind, But I pushed until something happened. It led all the way up until it was time for me to make that move. It was time for me to everything to be put in motion, the movement, like Harutment. And I'm sharing this with you because on my life journey, you see what happened when the reset button was pushed. You can see from start to finish. The Pilgrimage Vacation, what was posted, you can see how the weight I was, not only physical weight, but there was such thing as physical weight, mental weight. There were all kind of weights and different things in my mind, in my garden that I was dealing with at that time, and that battle of what to expect. And I was carrying not only physical weight, but I was carrying that other weight too. I was carrying weight of low self-esteem. I was carrying weight of not loving myself. I just didn't care. I had got that point. I had got to that level in life that I didn't care. It's like, I was in that place of like, I was exiting out of the final round of the game. I was exiting out of it. But it wasn't yet. It wasn't time for me to exit out of this reality yet. And so, that's where I was. I had many nights of where I cried. And, no one in my family knew I was going through this. They didn't know I was having nights where I cried and felt sorry for myself. But that was those weeds in that garden. They was really having a ball. Those parasites was really enjoying that whole show that I was carrying on till, it's like love. And I always talk about love until love really connected with me. And love was there. Love was like, hey, it ain't over. It ain't over. That's just a part of the old program. It was actually coming to the end. And the end was playing out, and the new beginning was actually starting within me. Because the moment I said yes, the button went into action. Love went into formation. Messiah went into formation. I began to move, and I began to start getting the necessary things that I needed to take the journey. And I understand that the journey, and I came to this conclusion, I came to this reality that no matter what, the journey, what I was going. I didn't care. I didn't care how people looked at me, but I knew I was going. I knew that I was going on this pilgrimage vacation. I knew that I was going. It was to the point to where I'm going for this change. No matter what, I already know what's back there. I already know what I have experienced back there. I already know what's going on in my house. I already know all that stuff. I already knew that. But what? I didn't know at the time. But I knew that something was going to happen for me. And so I went that way. And so the reset, it was the start of change in my life. But only you can experience this. And so going through, there has to be an agreement. of this reset. There has to be an agreement. Many people take journeys and things just because somebody else is doing it. But I'm honestly telling you, there has to be an agreement within your spirit, your heart, your mind, your soul. It has to be an agreement, an alignment for all of it to happen in your life. And I did that. I came to that point in my life that I wanted a change. And when I went that way, and I was greeted by them, by the ones, I don't want to call everybody name every podcast, but let me give them their flowers. Thea, the goddess Thea the goddess, and Brother Lazarus Lamel. I didn't know everybody else. I just know that, I was surrendering. I was surrendering my life. I had pushed the reset button. It happened. I was surrendering. And so I'm on this journey now. I'm at the place in my life that I had to rely. Not rely, but just trust. I had to trust. I'm in a different part of the world, really country. I didn't know. I might have had money and stuff, but you know what? It's like, put you in an area in your life that you having to trust. Because when you really let go of things in your life that no longer serve you, you really in the hand of source. To me, in that area of my life, is that I had to rely on what I really was and who I really am. And so as I walked that journey, understanding everything that I had already read the beginning of the book. I had already read about the journey, what to expect. I'd already read it. You can see most of the book is highlighted. So I had read that, and I had come to prayers, and I had learned the prayers and saying the prayers before that time. But I can honestly say to you, as the Pilgrim's Vacation, the words that I say is not even enough to explain the journey. It is not even enough to, but it does give some enlightenment on it. But the only way to know the change, to push the reset button, is for you to experience it yourself. I've been baptized several times before. I didn't, not to where I understood it now. They read scriptures in the Bible, but there is more to it. The water purification, the journey. You would have to experience that, because it's like the roots in the tree, and the roots in the tree are growing, but it's like you were planted. Even though you came here, but you were planted. That's the seed in the garden. But you really actually understand the soil. You understand the root. You understand the purpose and how you really, what your life really is. You've read many books, and I'm just talking. I've read many books, and many books have talked about life, salvation, deliverance, faith, different fruits of the Spirit, all of that. But what I'm sharing with you now is that the reset button, my journey, and I'm going to speed up because my journey of my life changed. What you see every day on the podcast is that I'm walking in it. This is not a game for me. It's not a plaything. I get in front of the camera, and when the camera's not on me, I'm going to do all this other stuff. No, this is all of me. It's all of me. The water, fire, the breath, the earth. It's all of me. It's all of me. My life is me. I understand the seed that's in my garden that I am planting. My thoughts are creating my reality. And so from the moment I was there, I learned there that we ate certain foods, clean eating. I share that clean eating, even though my daughter, purchased things, because remember, we came there from I was one that didn't eat meat anyway, and I'm not knocking people to eat meat. Have fun. It would make you feel good. Hey, that's between you and you. I'm not here to condemn anyone. I'm talking about me. That clean eating, because I came from my daughter. They ate a lot of stuff, and she got things that she liked, and she knew what I ate. But there we experienced clean eating. I ate certain foods just like they did. They didn't eat meat, some of them, but it was a family. It was a family. Nobody said, "Oh, you're not going to get that. We're not eating meat." No, nobody jumped on anybody about what they were eating. It was all love and how we fellowship together. And they come to the Airbnb to pick us up, and there was times to where there's certain areas that I wanted a certain food because I ate like the veggie burger or the black bean burger. And I think that when I had the water baptism, I was kind of cold, so they took me back to the Airbnb so I could get myself dried off and everything. So they went ahead and went. And but they made sure that I got something. They found me a place to where I could get a black bean burger, a black bean burger. And I'm just sharing with you about the Pigment's Vacation. I'm saying that don't worry about trying to change things before you get there. Because if this is the path for you to take and the decision for you to make as pushing the reset button, only you know. They don't force you. Because I can only tell you that when I stepped down them steps and helped me down them steps, because remember that leg was full of inflammation and swollen, and I stepped down them steps and made sure I got down them steps without falling, and that I got in that water. But they couldn't put me in that water. They didn't do like in the church that baptize you in the water and bring you back up. No. It wasn't like that. It was you. It was you. They read it and they asked you questions, but it was you. You have to do this yourself because you are the creator of your reality. It is all you on this journey. It is all you. It's your life change. It's you. And it's about creation. We had an egg, and at the beginning we get an egg, and it's, they talk about the egg and how this journey and how you are supposed to protect this egg. And at the end of the pilgrimage, you place this egg somewhere in the earth, somewhere. And everything has a symbolic meaning. The fire baptism was at night. I can share that with you. But there is something when you are in alignment with Source, the stars lined up. There was the time at night, we had a couple of raindrops came down, and it was like the stars was moving in the sky as we were there, on the beach, and in all agreement there. And then there was time where you go into the cave and at a bay, and you get to see the writings in the cave. And there's so many different experiences that you on this journey. I'm saying that it's returning to you. So the reset is that everything that you were programmed to accept about yourself, the reset button is that you start off the beginning, the creating your reality. You start off as the gardener and awakened gardener that's planting seeds in your experience. I can say that the journey is worth going. It's worth taking. I explain about vacation because it takes you out of your comfort zone here. So, you got everything here. You got luxury, you got the malls, all that here. But when you're going to this Pigment's Vacation, it is the place to where, you want to zone into really your life experience, your life journey, you and Source and wholeness of who you are. I mean, there is time. We go to the beach. You go to the beach and you get to walk on the water. I mean, you do whatever you're going to do. You have that time. But I'm saying that for me, in that area, I'm coming out of that shell. Remember, I was in that shell. I didn't trust anybody. I just didn't want to. I'm just me. I was coming out of that. I was coming out of that cube to where I was doing what everybody else wanted me to do. And, I was coming out of that. So I just wanted to share that with you. But your life, as you can see, as I come back, I'm skipping a little bit as I return. When I returned back from Puerto Rico, I began to change a lot. My eating habits changed. I took the 90-day water fast cleansing. Y'all saw me with that. I fell in love with water. I didn't drink a lot of water before, but until I came on the Pilgrim's Vacation and returning back from the Pilgrim's Vacation, water became my life. Water became my life. So I fell in love with fruit and vegetables, because this is the reset. And as I began to walk, and one of the things that Lazarus did was, he was just giving me some pointers about strengthening my leg. And he told me to walk and, make sure I do a lot of stretching. And I did that. And, and Theo stayed with me while I was on the Pilgrim's Way, because I couldn't go into the cave. And so Thea stayed with me. We were there and we had a beautiful conversation because she was getting to know me. And her energy was just observing me and just hearing me. We connected there. But I'm honestly telling you that the love that I received on the Pilgrim's Vacation was like love that I hadn't had in over 20 years, honestly. I got love from my children, but this was a different kind of love. I got the love of this inner love, a source of what we say, the Most High. I got that genuine sincerity love. And so let me go back. So when I came back from the Pilgrim's Vacation, everything starts to change. Lazarus talked to me, communicated with me about walking. And so I was walking. Then it just came to me that I just surprised him, I think. And I signed up because I never did this before. So I surprised myself and I went to the Y and I signed up and got membership. And I said, I went and got a membership, and I went and got membership, and I started getting into the water, because one thing he had said that, getting in the water is good for my bones. So I just pushed myself again. I choked another weed. I plucked another weed out of my garden, and I went to the Y and I got membership. And so when I got the membership, I found out about the different classes that they had. It's the reset. And so I started getting in the water walking class. So I was going to the water walking class. And then I met these other ladies and they invited me. I'm coming out of that shell. I'm by myself. These ladies just, they hugged me and they grabbed me like, come on, we're going to the steam room. And I'm like, steam room? So we go to the steam room and these ladies in there, I'm like, I don't know if I can do this. Oh, yes, you can. They pull me right on in there. So I'm in the steam room burning up. But I did it. I say, how long y'all staying here? They say, we just only got a few more minutes. And I stayed in there, and then I began to build a relationship with these ladies, and they were like, you coming back tomorrow? They just took me, it was like the path was like all those weeds that have been choking the good part of my life, Happy New Day, from me were being plucked up out of my garden. So, and the love and the joy was just the watering the flowers that were in my garden, that they were blooming and they were growing. And so that was that. And then I think I really started walking more. I started drinking more water. I started eating. With the 90-day water fast cleansing, I really actually got off those chips. I actually stopped drinking those ginger ale. And the most powerful thing is that I had ginger ale sitting right up under my desk. And they were looking at me and I was looking at them, but I had power over those ginger ales, letting them know I'm not quitting. I'm not giving up. I did not drink not one ginger ale on my 90-day water fast, nor did I eat one bag of chips. And I had plenty chips. And I went to the store and I looked at the chips. And I told him, I said, you just going to have to hold on, because right now you're going to have to work with me. I'm doing a 90-day water fast cleansing. I said, honestly, to tell you the truth, I was talking to them chips. I said, honestly, to tell you the truth, I don't even know if I'm going to go back. I don't know if me and you even going to have a relationship again. But right now, you're just going to have to work with me. And this is how I was talking to the chips. And so I'm just sharing that. I think I make y'all laugh a lot. I'm just talking about me, but you can see that I'm in the place of my happiest time in my life. I walk now. I take a walk. I don't have to have anybody walk with me. I walk. I have this relationship with Thea. Thea, like, she worked me out yesterday. When I say she really worked me out, she worked me out yesterday. She stretched my bones, and my muscles and the legs are kind of tight a little bit. But we work out, every now and then. We work out on Sunday. And day one, we have an early, and that's something some of y'all may want to do with us as well, because she works me out, stretching me, even though she's in Tampa, but we get on our phone and we work out together. And I'm grateful for that she takes the time just to show her love with me, because they really care about you. They really care. When I say Thea and Lazarus really love me, they really love me. And not only me, but I can only speak for me. You have to speak for yourself. They really love me. And the many calls I get checking on me and the many calls I give them, I'm not going to say they get tired of me, but we communicate together in that way. What else? My eating habits. So I eat fruits. I eat vegetables. I don't eat as much bread as I used to. So I don't eat as much bread. And when I came back from the 90-day water fast, that's one thing I kind of let go of, is a lot of bread, because I was one that ate a lot of vegetable sub sandwiches. And I went from the bread to the wraps. So the basil wraps, or the tomato basil wraps. And I went to thinner whole grain bread, something thinner that would fill me. And sometimes I don't eat bread at all. But I'm just letting you know that the reset within me, everything that happened over there is still flowing in me now. Is that the seeds that were planted in me over there are still flourishing within me now, because I have a life change. I get up and go. Because movement is everything. That's one of the things that Lazarus said to me, and it still sticks to me to this day. When you are moving, that system, it reprograms that system. But when you are sitting down or you are not moving, that system starts to just deteriorate. So you're reprogramming your system when you move. He says movement is key to everything. And from that, when I heard him say that, that is what keeps me moving. That's why I go to the gym. That's why I have two gyms. I have LA Fitness and I have the Y. Because at the LA Fitness, they have the jacuzzi. The Y has the steam room. They have a steam room too, but theirs don't get as hot as the one at the Y. And so, but I'm honestly saying to you that my life changed from the moment that I went on the Pygmist vacation, mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally. And this is what you see. I'm on the path of change. I said that when I said I will, I am, I shall, and I do. I meant it. And so you can see me, as I showed before in the parade. That is something that I probably would have never done if I had not went on a Pygmist vacation. I would have never went. I probably would have still been in that room, in that cube, because that room is shaped like a box, so it's a cube. And because of the love and the commitment to what I stand for and who I am, Messiah, a leader or savior of a particular group with a cause, and one that is in preparation for war, that is choking those weeds that have been battling within my mind. I'm on that path and answer that, picked up that phone when the Carlo came the Matrix. So I want to share that with you. I'm saying the reset. Push the reset button. I say it's time to push the reset button. My time came to push the reset button. It's time for the reset. In order for you to live longer, I had to do that. I wanted to do that because I had made up in my mind that it was over. But as I have pushed the reset button, I'm living longer. You can see my skin. My skin looks younger. For me, I mean, the eyes that I'm looking through, I see my skin looks beautiful. And, I don't do the age thing, but I'm going to share it with you. They have this thing that don't ever ask a woman how old she is. So if we would do according to man-made thing, the age, you would see that, I'm just going to say it one time. I don't like sharing it sometimes, but I'll share it. 62. 6'2". But that's outside. Inside, I'm youthful. It doesn't have an age inside me. But that's what I'm sharing. I'm moving. So that's the number. That's the number. The 62nd chapter in the book. That's what I want. And so my life is new beginning. I encourage everyone because we have the Pilgrim's Vacation coming up. And so I encourage you to decide to take this journey. I am going to be there. I am one that is going to be assisting in the baptism. You need to, I encourage everyone to go ahead and get the book off of Amazon. Get the book and begin to read it now and see is this where you want to be, in your life. The first thing, remember I said I had to make the decision. Then it was the decision, the journey, then the arrival, the baptism of the air, and the baptism of the earth, and the baptism of water, and the baptism of fire. All of this, what's going on inside of you. But you got to decide, hey, it's all you. You have to decide that, as you are on the path of ascension, because we took part in so much stuff, so many things on that journey, and we attached and we made agreements with these things. It's time to push the reset button and give it back to what you came. I love that. There is the introduction in here that, is telling about the beginning of it. And I'm going to show you what I wrote on here when I wrote this on January, and I dated it. January the 7th. It says, Chapter 1, the decision. Today I make my decision. And I did that on January the 7th. So I did that. And that's when I decided. That was on January the 7th, 1/7, that I had made my mind up that it was time for me to go. It was time for me to live. It was time for me to think about myself. It was time for me to be concerned about me and not having to trying to carry the load for everybody else, because I can't save everybody else anyway. I can only save my world. Because when I save my world, I'll save the planet. And I was in that place to where I was trying to save everybody. I was trying to save the people at the daycare. I was trying to save my family. But you know what? I can only save me. I can only be the light for me. And that light that's shining through me, it will ignite others, but I can only save me. And I'm grateful and thankful for this journey that I am taking, that I am a light that others can have the same experience. But each and every last one of us experience is different. How I experience may not be the same way you are experienced, but you will experience something. I'll tell you that much. So just be on the lookout for that information, because we're putting together the package for those that desire to, their heart is leading them, or your heart is tugging on you and saying it's time to push the reset button. October Raw is happening. We got 2 days, and because it's an inner thing. First within, then without. First within, then without. The change has to come within, then without. I can only say for me is that I had an attitude change too. Many people, I wasn't one that cursed people out. Don't get it wrong. I did used to curse. I did. I used to curse when I used to work at the nursing home. And that happened to me when I was a nurse working at the nursing home. And I would go into the break room and they would be cursing in there. And I just kept going. I don't even know how I'm not a smoker because the room used to be so full of smoke. I still would go in there and sit and do my paperwork. But one thing that attached itself to me was this cursing. And next thing you know, I found myself cursing like I was a professional cursor. I'm telling you. Then I heard the voice say, that ain't even you. Then I started I started hearing myself. I'm like, nah, where'd I get that from? Did I let that go? But I'm just saying to you that this is a journey worth taking. That we all come to a point in our life that the awakening happens. 2012 was when my awakening happened. 2012 here in Charlotte, North Carolina, when I had that awakening. And I didn't have anybody to talk to about that either. But the 2012 or the awakening, what was going on with me, everything just went off. Scales, everything just dropped off me. And I'm like, it was like I come out of a cube, but that was 2012, and it's like I'm looking at things, but things look different. So it's all aligning up together. So that's what I wanted to share about that you are the Messiah. Knowing that you Messiah and that the Codex, just knowing that. But we all, and I'm hearing that. You remember where it talks about the ascended master went to Yochanan and John to be baptized, right? And John say, I have need of being baptized by you. But then the ascended master say, so that, because it had been written, let me go ahead because it's already written in scripture. You fulfill the scripture. Let's go ahead and be baptized. Let's do it. In other words, everything in your life has been chosen to happen. Trust me. As long as you are on the path and knowing that, it's going to happen. And it is divine timing of things that are happening in your life. I mean, I can only share my experience, what you see me every day, what you see me from Pilgrimage Vacation, from now. Those that have known me way before, my podcast, that when I was on, Facebook, you've known me. And you can see the change. You can see the change yourself. You can see I'm happier. You can see that my life is it's beautiful. I'm happy where I am. And so many of you know me, family know me, that I wouldn't have went anywhere. I would just be right here. And you can see that this woman right here, this lady, that lady right there, this lady right here, look at her. Oracle is on the path. She's on the path. She's moving forward. She's not looking back, not to go back. It says only a dog returns to its vomit. She's not that way. She's made a decision in life to keep going, to keep living, to be the light. She made a healthy choice of changing how she eat. She's changing how she eat, what she put in her mouth. She's thinking about the cells in her body and the benefits of life. She's thinking about all of that and where she's going from here. Where she's going from here. Look at her trying moving with the people in the front. She's right up there in the front and looking back at them like trying to get on the beat, but she moving. She got something going. She didn't even allow her leg to hold her back. And I'm so grateful that they even had a car, that she could, when her leg was doing whatever it was doing, she could sit down in the car and then get back out and go in. But it was so amazing and so lovely that the people just received her. Not only her, but others. But I'm just saying that she really feel love. She really knows her purpose. She knows her purpose. This lady right here, this one, she said, I see me. You see me. Me, we, me. She connected with the people. And right there, that what you see, she was up praying for the people. She was sending love to everyone. This lady right here. This lady that got on the plane. That lady that got on the plane was able to fly first class. The one that went to sleep when they was giving out the food. But she didn't want anything anyway. But anyway, what you see is the best. These are the best years of my life. This is the best time of my life. I feel that those that I have connected with the Walu tribe, this is my time. This is my season. So, push the reset button. Step outside the cube. Create your reality. Live your life to the fullest. Don't let nothing hold you back. Because actually, the seed, the weeds in the gardener are all you. They are all you. And you are the one that decide what you want to do in your life. What's best for you. Again, I am Oracle, Mother Yanis Lamel, Lucha Prime Supreme, 1216 of the Messiah Code Movement in the Walu Tribe. I can only say from my heart is that to live is the greatest thing in life. To make the decision and to decide that you want to live. That is why I'm here. I made that decision. I made that decision to go. So, thank you. Lots of gratitude for all of you that allowed me to just share a little. Love you, Didi, Lazarus, Sadei. Happy New Day. You were on there early. I love that. So, thank all of you. Tamara, Ashe. Love you, Tamara. Happy to see you on here. That's Naya's other grandmother. Happy to see you on here. So much love. All right. And she knows me. She's been knowing me for a long time. She can witness and tell you that I'm not the same person I used to be. She will tell you. She'll tell you that I've always walked the path of, holiness, of church and stuff. But she'll tell you that I have changed, even to my life really have changed. So let me do a couple announcements with the Walu. The Walu is a 501c3 nonprofit corporation. And so what I want to share with you, I'm not going to be on here long, okay? So we do have the Pilgrim's Vacation coming up in January. Be on the lookout for that information that will be posted, so that we really want you to just get the book and see if just pray about it. Talk to your higher self and see if this is where you want to go. We really, I'm encouraging you, as many of you that would love to, step outside of your comfort zone and decide it's time to push the reset button. And so on this journey, it's the greatest choice in life that you could ever make. Karen's Kitchen is 1221 here in Charlotte, North Carolina. We're looking for volunteers. We would love to have you come and volunteer to help us feed 200 plus here in Charlotte, North Carolina. The place is to be announced, but email us, reach out to us, and say, "Hey, I want to be a volunteer." And we will put you on our list and let you know when to show up and what is needed. Also, we have the 90-day water fast cleansing coming up. Also, in February to May, that is something that I encourage you to take part in. That is a reset too. That is a reset of your system. I experienced that requires discipline. I'm telling you, for somebody that used to drink a lot of ginger ale, it requires you to be disciplined, because you can look at that. I had a relationship with ginger ale. We had a serious relationship. But when I decided to talk to that ginger ale and told him, know what, we're going to cut this off. We're going to cut it off. We're going to cut it off for 90 days. And then if you still love me, then I might go back to you. But it don't look like we might go back together. But anyway, that's the way I was going with that ginger ale and those chips. And but it's something that I encourage you to really life change, because there's so many things in food and stuff that we take every day that they're coming to make the world look like the food. There's a food shortage. We know that there is no food shortage, but the system is programming people in their mind to think that there's a food shortage, so they create more processed food and stuff, more things with sugar. And we know that sugar is really not good for our body. Sugar is a drug. It's something that you can become addicted to. And so, but the system paints the picture in people's mind that, there's a shortage of water, there's a shortage of food, there's no shortage of anything. The earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof, and those and they that dwell therein. The earth has so much to provide for. Guess what? The only thing is that we need to know how to plant our own seeds in order to grow it. They have made it, we got the microwave thing going on. You go to the fast food, it's quick, it's fast. That requires you to have discipline to understand how to fix the proper meals for your body, because your cells in your body require certain things, not the fast processed food, because it does damage to our cells in our body. It causes people to have Alzheimer's. When we keep putting fast food things in our body, it causes people to have problems with their brain. It causes people because different toxins and things that are in the meat and things. I'm not knocking meat, but I'm just saying that they putting imitation meat now. There's imitation meat in the Jewish. We had kosher, the kosher food. There's a certain way meat was supposed to be cut, and there's a certain way that where animals were used in an ancient way. Animals gave their life for survival. Nowadays, that they talk about how animals are doing, they just take them to the market and just cutting them up. But there came a time before, it was time that when they were traveling and that they didn't have anything, animals were willing to give their life for the person to sustain their life longer. But now these days, it's like a microwave. They just cut and cut. You got chicken just being slaughtered, and you got the cows being just cut. It's like there's no ritual, there's no honor and respect for the animal life. I'm just talking about a push the reset button, because the system program us to just eat meat. Now, you can go to fast food, it's meat, but I'm not knocking that. I'm just sharing with you how you understand how the system had us trapped in that area in our mind. It is not honor. We have been in agreement. We have to understand that all life has an agreement. The animals are here for a reason, just like we are here for a reason. The earth, the grass, the trees are all here for a reason. We all respect each other, but somehow it has gotten off balance to where you can just go, and many things and animals and things that have been slaughtered in the market and stuff have been on the shelf and the package outdated, and it's not like because in like the kosher way, how animals and things are supposed to be done is that, remember, life is in the blood. And so when they're cutting meat and stuff, the blood is still in the meat, but you have to understand life is in the blood. And many like that. How do you want your meat? Raw. How do you want your meat? Medium rare. Life is in the blood. So whatever is in the meat is inside of you. When you're eating it, it goes into your DNA. And so many of us not conscious and aware of that life is in the blood. Anyway, and parasites. You're right, Didi. Pepsi. And a lot of stuff is parasite. They cut off the stuff with the pus and all that stuff. And I'm not knocking. I'm just telling you, just sharing with you to use wisdom when you are going to purchase meat and stuff. And not only that, please pray over over whatever you put in your body. Give honor and respect to the earth and to the ancestors that, what they say, why do you want to pray over something that you don't agree? I'm not saying that. I didn't tell you that I didn't agree with that. I say whatever you put in your body is between you. You have free will to choose whatever you want to put in your body. I'm talking about push the reset button. I did. So when I stopped eating meat, it was in 2012. I didn't even do that. My system did it all by itself. It was like Source took the taste of meat out of my mouth. I didn't know how it happened. I just didn't have it anymore. It wasn't there. It's just, I told my rabbi about it. I'm like, Mom, I don't have a taste for meat no more. I tried to put it in, it wouldn't even go down. So I'm just sharing with you. It wasn't meant for me because I'm in the world. I'm not of the world. That's why. I'm a divine spiritual being. I survive off of energy. Vegetables and fruit are energy. High vibration stuff that give me life. What else? So that's that. 90-day water fast cleansing. The October Raw, which is 2 days away. Hey, also something that's going to be powerful that requires us great discipline as well. That's a life change. That's a pushing the reset button as well. Because we're going to be eating raw. We're going to be learning different recipes. We're going to actually understand what raw really is. When we talk about raw, we may just be talking about eating just a regular carrot. But there is going to be recipes and things put in the what is that? The message, because we have a messenger thing that we communicate with each other. I'm sure we're going to post some of it on Facebook as well, that you can see what different types of recipes that you can take part of. If you're going to join on this, with us, and this is going to be powerful. So, it's not something to tie you around your arm, if you feel that this is for you, join in. And we got music too, that we're going to do meditation. We're going to be doing the Wundu and exercising and walking. Everybody's going to be reporting on, how their life is really changing. You begin to let go a lot of things that don't serve you anymore. That's that. Don't forget about the prison pen pound ministry, that if you want to take part in that, we are very excited about that. You can send us an email and we can get you with that started. Sponsoring a book to be mailed out to some of the inmates that are in prison. You can get on board with that. And also remember that I have started the blanket ministry at the nursing home. Hey, I would love for you to join in with that as well. Connect with me with that. Send me an email, message me, and say, hey, I want to be a part. Happy New Day. I want to be a part of that as well. Let me see what else is there. Did I leave out any? Oh yeah, don't forget to check out the website, the Wallows website, and our Facebook page. Just scroll down there. There's a lot of information on there that you can find out what the Wallow is all about. She can come in here with me, what the Wallow is all about, and what else? Don't forget that also on Tuesday, Tea with Tea. And on Friday, Ashita General on Friday nights, I think at 9 or 10, she comes on. And then on Thursday night, Lazarus comes on. And of course, Early Rise, Happy New Day with me. And I think... All right, come, Azuri, come on. Right, yeah, bring it right Azuri, come here. And I think that's all I can recall right now. Is that we're on the path, we're growing, and we love to have you grow with us. We love to have you come sit right here with Grandma. I love to have come with Grandma. I love to have you connect with us in this. Let me see your face, clean. Yeah, I'd love to have you connect with us. You want to say something now? What you going to say? Say Happy New Day.
Happy New Day.
Anything else? Wave your hand. You say coon. Say coon. Say coon. Say coon.
Cool.
So, yeah. So, I think that's where we are. I am all love, and all love is within me. I am. Thank you so much for connecting with us. I am Oracle Mother Yanis Lamel, Nutra Prime Supreme, 1216 of the Messiah Code Movement and at the Walu Tribe. It has been an amazing space to be in with you in this early rise, and may your day continue to be filled with bliss and joy and happiness as you travel with us on this journey. And oh yeah, don't forget to get secrets of Halloween, because Halloween is approaching. So you want to know the positive as well as the negative, because the system only paints one part. Understand who you are, what is the meaning, why time was changed, and who was it changed by. Learn about Sam Hain, and just learn about life. So you can get this one also at Amazon as well. And also don't forget that you can also get the Walu Hand Manual as well as on Amazon. And also don't forget to check out Lazarus Music, that's on Amazon and Apple Play, that you can purchase that music as well. There's new music. He has new music coming out. But as I shared, that it is great to have when you're exercising. It's great to have when you're walking. And it is great to play when you are in meditation as well. So again, Kun. Kun. Peace, love, and light. Say shalom.
Yeah.
I threw a kiss. How about you? All right, let's go. I love you, Zuri. Anything else before we go? What else? Oh, you're looking at yourself? You're beautiful. Say push the reset button. Say shalom.